Super. Brilliant. Mm, I hope and loud and clear. Hello, everyone, wherever you connected from. This should be a short one. And yeah, and it was abrupt. We thought we needed to really get it out there. One of those things that you really need to understand the core concept of why this whole structure is in place and why we have this community. Uh, for people that are joining in, yeah, I'll give you a couple minutes, maybe one, two. Let's do 5 minutes. Let's wait while everyone gets settled in, and then we can get started. So in the meantime, while everyone gets in, we needed to look into a couple of things. One and two things per se are where you currently are in your life. The couple of things that, yeah, this is my life, this is what I've got, and this is the kind of lifestyle I already have. And this is where I'm working towards to, right? So there's sort of a direction. There's a goal that you're supposed to accomplish, and there's a lifestyle you need to maintain overall. And yeah, so that's why I thought, you know what, let me try to bring you in. This is the inner circle. All right, bring you in and then try to figure out where do you fall, how do we help you, and how do you fix that direction. Because remember, you are part of this for a reason. It doesn't matter what it takes, doesn't matter how it feels right now. But I'll tell you a story. There's one guy in Romania, he's based in Romania, built one of the highest high-end hotels, but years before that, he was looking at a garbage dump, a land that no one else was looking at, and it didn't occur to him at the time that, this could turn out into a precious money-making machine over time. He was just looking at it, and a lot of other people were looking at something like that, so the opportunities that you get to overlook based on the location. So remember, sometimes when you're talking about real estate, when you're talking about investing, we're talking about relocation. Which direction are you choosing? What is currently there? Because remember, the old rule where old money was made the most was location, location, location. So when you're looking at getting to the market right now, yeah, brochures are going to sell you the location. They're going to sell you the facades. They'll sell you the payment plans and all stuff for under construction investments. All right. But now getting back to the story of this guy, he gets the deal, gets into the land, buys it for price, of course, not the highest, but also not the lowest in the market. What? Because it was an overlooked asset. No one wanted to put something there. But guess what? Here's a trick. The lesson that you would learn from this guy is simple. So he buys the land, builds up a 5-star hotel in Romania. You can only imagine, all right? But the concept is he did not build based on a 3-year plan. He built based on a 30 years plan. Let me explain it. In the way that he puts it, it's like, if you build for a 3-year plan, guess what? You're going to try also cheap materials, also this, also that. Make sure you try to load down on your expenses while you're putting down the foundation. But remember, the foundation is what makes you money in the first place. With an asset that was overlooked, where it was just a garbage dump, you can only imagine. So the mindset in it was, I'm building this for 30 years. And the foundation was firm enough, one of the highest expenses towards the entire project, which makes sense all the time. Most of the times you look at something and you're like, no, you know what? You try to save some bit of money here and there, which brings us to one of the workshops that will be coming ahead, how developers make money. So while you follow the inner circle, you get to decide, should I be an investor buying properties or should I be a developer and all that. So there are dynamics and concepts that I would try to follow. So this inner circle that isn't just getting to, you know what, I real estate, be this, be that, be that. No, it's a different thing. All right. But so I'm glad now everyone else's thing is settled in. So I think let's get started. So lesson to take from the story: foundation is very important. And why foundation is very important is the reason why you're part of the inner circle right now. It's why the reason you pay what you paid to get enrolled in. And remember, it's a referral based system, to be honest. So if at all you're here and maybe from a marketing department or what, and felt like this is a place where you belong, yeah, this is sort of something that is going to get you in to really try to understand exactly what the concept is. But I want to also dial into an idea that most of you might be missing over time. You look at a couple of things that happen in life, and they may make sense, they may not. But I want you to understand one thing. Everyone gambles in life. They may call it something else, like the stock market, cryptocurrency, or real estate, but make no mistake. If you are risking something, you are gambling. And if you're gambling, guess what? This is part of the inner circles you're supposed to be part of. Just remember, why does this matter to some and not everyone? We're pretty choosy getting people enrolled into the inner circle. We're very, very choosy because the questions that you get to fill out, and from that, we can decide whether to work with you or to get you into the circle or not. But why does this matter for you? Why you'll be part of the inner circle is because like you don't get hassled by the guy next to you. Matters because hard work alone doesn't protect your downside if you're not playing for free. This is the game. So I keep telling you the rules of change and the rules of engagement to the dynamics of where do I put my money? How is it going to make me more money? Like getting seated down, do I do it? Let me walk you into something that may even annoy you the most. Most of you have bank accounts wherever you are. If you pull the chat, where if you listening to this clearly, is my audio loud enough and stuff? Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. We've been a while since we saw Michigan joining in. Yeah, I'm glad you're here, buddy. So we have people from all over Europe. We have people in Dubai as well, and yours in Canada. Why? Because this is a foundation that builds you to scale into something that is beyond the current generation. So you're building for generations ahead, not just something to show off or just to carry on with your lifestyle and stuff. So the most important rule in life, I want you to hear me and hear me very clearly, is that nobody gives a shit. You want to do something in this fucking life, you go out there and build it. Now, draws me back to the story that I started with. This guy looks at an empty garbage lot and it's like, yeah, it could be something. But he wasn't the only one who had looked at it before. Most other people maybe got that opportunity, but they felt like, you know what? Nah, it's not worth it, the investment. So he looked at it differently. So if he looked at it differently, the dynamics were different. Hold on, I've got a glitch with my account. Can you still hear me? Can't tell what this is, but 1 second, let me try to fix it a bit. In the meantime, you can leave your questions in the chat. And then let's see. Yeah, I think we're back on. Yeah, we're back on. Okay, 2, 3, 2, 1, resume. All right, so where were we? The whole thing is no one cares about your current situation, to be honest. Yeah, there's gonna be a guy next door who feels like, you know what, yeah, I care about this guy, I care about it. But I want you to understand one other thing. All right. People do non-trade stocks, crypto or gold and all these things. because they're the only thing that don't have risk. Like I started with, risk is everywhere. Risk is in everything that you do. Risk is part of your life. Banks hire people to make sure your money is kept in their purview. So you ask yourself a question: why would they go that extra mile to pay people that talk you into, you know what, your money is safe here, you should invest more money with us and all that on that? Because if you do not take a risk or some of the risk of your time, your effort, or your money, you get no reward. No risk, no reward. At least that's a concept that, we've had such cliches and stuff. There's a bit of truth to everything else that you've had so far. And it doesn't matter. Does it make sense for you or doesn't? So this little workshop is just basically going to get you into a bit of what is the inner circle route and what is not. All right. So you get to decide. Actually, not you deciding, but it sort of tells you, okay, this is the thing. This is who we are, and this is who we're not. This is who we work with, and this is who we don't rather work with. So it's all about the money. Pretty choosy, like I said. So it's not like, okay, are you getting in? That makes sense. Okay, yeah, this is really something that you want to be part of. No, don't follow the noise. Just be constructive towards the decision that you make. And to the new referrals that are coming in, I think we have an August enrollment. Yeah, around August. Yeah, we have an open table for that. And we're looking for about 5 people that we need to join. Not more than that. So if you know someone out there that needs to be part of this inner circle, this will be a time that you pass on the word, and then we can get on a quick call with them, see if they're a good match, and then we can get them to be part of this. So, question: would you make $1 million decision using the same amount of information you used to buy your current iPhone? I know, I'll let that sink in for a second. But here's the thing: probably not, because you don't get to use the same information that you've used. Probably the things that have worked for you in the past. They're instruments that move either sometimes in your favor or not. But like I said, life is a gamble. Whatever you decide to get into, if there's a risk story, guess what? You're gambling. So it doesn't take, oh, no, I do this. No, because, and I want to also imply this to you: scared money doesn't make money. We've had situations where we're talking to people about the current situation, the financial situation per se, and they're a bit skeptical with the fact, you know what, yeah, I don't feel this is for me. I really have the money, yeah, but will it work for me? Will it not? So if you're uncertain whether something is going to work for you, for starters, listen, you know the right person to work with us. We don't have any guarantees, but we're pretty good at our job. So you're either in or you're out. There's no downside. There's no gray area in between. So if you would compare the options, you would take that as the specifications, you would research the alternatives, you would consider the downsides, you might ask someone who knows more than you, which is why the inner circle exists. All right. You will probably take your time, and when it comes to real estate, very strange things happen. So it means the information that you know or you use by the current car model that you currently have, maybe a Tesla, or Maybach, or Lamborghini, Black Batch, so whatever it is, the information you used to acquire that is different in the market that you're getting into right now. All right. So intelligent people suddenly start making $1 million decisions based on a couple things. All right. But I believe everyone else is smarter, not just intelligent. But I'll tell you where the move is, what makes you different from the rest of the other people that are getting into. So you find a brochure, a WhatsApp message, an Instagram reel, a property tour, or a broker saying, trust me, and then they call it investing. Let me be clear. You can be a successful CEO, a founder, a doctor, a lawyer, a pilot, an experienced investor, you can be highly intelligent, highly educated, and highly successful and still make a terrible real estate investment because, not because you're stupid, okay? Because success in one field does not automatically make you competent to allocating capital in another. I keep telling this to my colleagues and they're like, yeah, but we know this, we know that. But there's also a reason why I charge for consultation. When people come to me with money problems, we're able to charge them for a fee so that we're able to get them in the direction that they need to get in. All right. Sometimes you need an extra narrative lens onto something that you're trying to build. Could be a business, could be an investment. I'm not saying stocks are bad. I'm not saying crypto is bad. I'm not saying real estate is bad, but the mindset behind or the strategy that backs the whole thing towards the decision that you really want to get into is what's important. So let's say, for instance, a surgeon knows how to operate, all right? So if a surgeon knows how to operate, a pilot knows how to fly, a lawyer knows how to interpret the law, all right? A CEO knows how to build and operate a company, but none of those things automatically tell you whether a property is overpriced, whether the yield is currently attractive, whether the payment plan creates hidden risk, or whether the developer has a track record worth trusting, or whether the area has a genuine growth potential. Or also, whether you are buying an opportunity or simply buying someone else's marketing. And that's where smart people get into trouble. So I agree on one fact that everyone who's joined onto this workshop is considered among the smart people around. And you're not going to make any bullish decisions that are going to make you lose money in the process. But having said that, this whole thing, this workshop is basically going to give you a clear picture of the strategic solutions for high yield portfolio growth and sustainable market dominance. And how do we get there? So it's very important. And why are we choosing this location for starters? It's not the only location that we're concentrating on, but it's at the moment where smart money is moving. As the old saying goes, follow the money, then follow what? You answer that very clearly. We've had relocation tendencies. If you are to look at the matrix right now, it shows expatriates are moving to Dubai, but not only Dubai, they're moving to other locations also. That tells you something. They're trying to run away from something that they're afraid of. I'm sure 90% of everyone here is afraid of something that is similar. But brilliant. Now that I got your attention, so boom. So here's the whole thing, right? So you're looking at a couple factors, all right? How do you get there? How does your strategy make sense? One, strategic growth, tax-free returns, golden visa incentives, and world-class infrastructures. You look at this and you're like, yeah, does that really make sense anymore? Maybe, but maybe not. But I want you to look at another narrative here that you get to understand that every other problems that you might have, the non-financial problems, the non-bias problems and stuff, the decision-making problem. So your idea is solid from beginning to the end. And then, but in between, because of a lot of information that is out there, the thousands of developers, dozens of communities, agents, influencers, and all YouTube videos, property portals that you come across, the opinions and the predictions that everyone else has, it brings what we call the singular party. So that may work in your favor or it may not. But I want you to also look at most of the other myths that without data or clarity, you end up making a mess towards what your direction is. All right. So, for instance, the common myths that are happening everywhere is the information overload. Yeah, we've seen it happen a lot of times. That is terrible, it's bad. So where do you want to be? You want to be in a location, you want to be in an inner circle that provides you data-driven information, numbers, and deals that where you don't have to scrap through TikTok reels, YouTube videos, brochures, developers, agents, and all that, right? Just for you to get what you really need to get to. But I also want you to understand one thing. If you're given more than, as a human mind operates, if you're given more than 3 choices, you're going to get what we call analysis paralysis. And the reason is simple, because you have 3 options and you don't know which one is good, which one is not. Can I take all 3? Now you look at prices, you look at the sizes, you look at this, you look at that. It's very profound how the human mind is hardwired. But if I only get you 2 options, and you have 2 options to choose from, all right? If you don't like the first option, then you're going for the second option. But if you don't like the first option for status, this is what you're going to say. You know what? No, that alone eliminates emotional bias. I don't like this option, but in order for you to get you another option, you tell me a thing or 2 that you don't like about the first option. That, you know what? I'm not going for this first option. Okay, what don't you like about the option? Because of this, because of that, because of that. Brilliant. So I'll remove the first option, replace it with another option that is better than the first option. I hope you get what I mean, right? So, having said that, you have a strategic ROI theory. You have a repeatable system that gets to cover all these things all up, right? So, you ask yourself the question, how does this all come in play? I'll tell you, I'll walk you through something real quick. Sometimes there are opportunities, but you don't know which one deserves your capital. Because remember, someone out there already planned for your money. You know that, right? So whether it's a payday or it's a business deal that you get paid for, or it's a return on investment on one venture that you started out, the money is already planned for by banks, by governments, sometimes by the people that are closest to you. So what do you do? This is the thing, right? So, because the most dangerous person in the market is not the person who knows nothing. It's the person who knows everything. It's the person who knows just enough to feel confident. They see a nice building. They hear, yeah, this area is going to explode. They see a flexible payment plan. They hear, yeah, you can pay after handover. They hear about projected appreciation. They see a glossy presentation and suddenly they're all fired up. They're making 6 or 7 figure decisions based on emotion. They're not investing, they're shopping, which is what has gotten the majority of the people in the market to lose their money. When you getting into an investment, like I said, everything else is a gamble. Where is your money at? All right. And the fact that your money is already planned for tells you something. What do you need to do differently? You get into the market, don't go out there shopping with emotions and all these other things. No. Put that aside. Find a criteria that works for you. Be part of something. The inner circle, like the ones that you guys are on, we get to have this type of workshops unfiltered for you guys to really get as more value as possible, so that it makes sense and so that your money is not at a prey, you know, that someone else wants really getting money. We don't care about your money. We care about you getting it into the right place, right investment. But that comes with a cost. So when you look at 1 or 2 things, one, we have the Investor Starter Kit. This is very profound. This is where you start, attract, indoctrinate, and qualify digital products and tools that remove limiting beliefs with data. So you get access to a platform that gives you all these other things that makes you not the smartest in the market, but at least it's able to protect the things that you care about. Your emotions are not intact. And they're in place, but they're really not going to be. The whole idea is the people who know how to make money are not impressed by the property. You have to understand this. So it's not the property that makes you the money. The numbers, right? I think in the previous workshop, we talked about the emotional bias and what drives you to buy an asset and what doesn't, right? So for amateurs, what they ask most all the time, which is not really the thing that they should be asking. So in order for your money to even make sense, you don't have to ask, what does this look like? You ask, what is the basis? All right? What is my actual net position after every cost? You ask for evidence. Now, if you got the evidence, based on what? Because what we see happens all the time is because you're not playing for free, your capital is not free, your time is not free, your attention is not free, and bad decision costs you years. I think if you put in one way or another, bad decision is a highly negative return on investment. So what do? You have to look at the dynamics very differently and figure out, okay, yeah, this makes sense, this doesn't, and all that. So the reason you're part of the inner circle is to avoid the bad decisions. So you've already made the right decision for status. Remember what I say? Now this separates you from the intelligent people to being smart. Yeah, while you're here being part of this workshop, you're one of the smartest people that we know. And we enjoy working with. But it doesn't stop there, all right? So the market doesn't reward the person who sees the most properties. First, the person who can see what everyone else missed. Remember the story that I started with? One guy in Romania looked at a garbage dump, thinks, this is really worth something. Sets up a 5-star hotel. And it's making him money. The mindset, all right? So, because every market contains opportunities and every market contains traps. So there are opportunities, there are traps. And the difference is not always obvious. You don't know, is this a trap, is this not? Sometimes the attractive properties are not really the best investment. But people try to look into that. But I'll tell you, there's a reason why currently we have a lot of new branded residences or hotels that are new constructions that have been launched for a reason and for a purpose. It may not seem obvious as you look at it, but it makes sense. One of the next upcoming workshops will discuss this. Should you go for a branded under construction project or property as an investment asset, or should you not? Because you look at the concepts. A couple years ago, there was a project called Wild Islands. The idea was smart. The fossils and all these other things all in place, all right? People invested their money. This is happening, that's happening. Yeah, they felt like, we need to have this whole thing. And then COVID hit. And everything was on hold. Nothing was moving. People's money was stuck, all right? For years. That now they're starting to look at the return on investments for the projects that they invested in. They were under construction, of course. But I want you to understand this. If it were not just about the noise and they invested smartly, you wouldn't be surprised they'll be making money right now. But also, while we're speaking about wild islands, there's a concept that now most all these islands are drowning. But that's a story for another time. So, what do we have to leverage? Remember, the starter kit gives you this and gives you that, right? The deal accelerator, this is where the transformation now moves into execution. Yeah, you have this and you have that. We coach you 1 call a week or every other 2 weeks, source out the deals for you, Now it's up to you to decide, should I go for this deal? Should I go for that deal? You have all the numbers. We say what we call risk scenarios. Well, if this goes wrong, what happens? What would my numbers be? Well, if that goes wrong, well, if this goes right, how am I cashing out? All right. And I think one of the workshops I will be talking about the return on investment and how to calculate it. Remember, when you buy stocks or crypto or real estate, they all follow the same structure. You buy something that you have no idea whether it's going to make you money or not. So you blindly take a risk. But you get in because someone sold you the idea. This is going to give you money. This is going to make you the most returns on investment. And this is going to do this and this is going to do that. But in order for you to even make money, I want you to understand this. You must sell. So, yeah, I guess we are brilliant. Yeah, questions are coming in. Yeah, of course, put the questions in the chat. I'm not going to be able to answer all the questions, so just put them in the chat, and then we'll have to look into these questions one at a time. Or probably, if I have more time ahead, yeah, I'll be doing this. All right. I know some of you in lunchtime, evening time, others are driving back home, so it's good stuff. Well, so this gives you one or two things. What are you looking at? Okay. It doesn't matter. You have to examine the numbers. You have to analyze the opportunity. You understand the market. You assess the risk. And then you compare the alternatives and then determine the potential upside and also the downsides. This is the accelerator that gets you all in, right? Like I said, it's not an indoctrination call. It's just giving you a bigger picture of what we already have in place, what's working for you, what's working already for the rest of the other people in the inner circle, and what it would turn out to be, right? So this, you're able to turn the data into a deal system that is no longer confusing. You're not following brochures, you're not following noise on the market. You're just concentrating on clarity that gives you a better picture. Then you're able to get where you need to get to. Does that make sense? Brilliant. Now we go to a tier 3. It's the inner circle. Yes. And now you guys get to be even part of the whole thing. So we have the ones that tier 1 and the tier 2 that are now, for a few times, we've got you into the inner circle as one of these workshops today. So I'm glad we're able to do this. We're trying to make sure that you guys get the most value in the market and all that. It's brilliant. It's amazing that we have you here. All right. So, question now, you've gone from the deal accelerator to the inner circle. The way you look at these things is definitely very different. Why? I'll tell you. This is not about developer presentations. It's not a sales pitch. It's not education per se. It's consultation. It's knowledge. All right. Filter out all the noise that's out there. It's about building a professional process for finding, analyzing, and executing opportunities for everyone who's on this call today. Yeah, I know it. I used to make a joke a while ago where I could tell some of people that I used to coach and be like, yeah, the reason we set up this meeting and the reason why I charge the what I charge is definitely very simple. You have a money problem. I was sitting here so that we're able to fix it. Yeah, you could laugh about it, I know. Yeah, it's pretty funny when someone tells you have a money problem and you're the guy who has the money and you're just not sure, where do I put it? Do I keep it in the bank? Do I invest it somewhere? Do I buy stocks? Do I buy crypto? What do I buy? Do I start a business or buy a business? Because remember, now the inner circle gives you access to all this. If you're looking to buy a business, the inner circle gets you access to deal closes, margins, and all that. We're able to get you the numbers. And if it feels good, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. We get you the business. If you're looking into getting into properties, buying properties, under construction, already properties, we get you there. If you're looking to buy hotel buildings, we're there. We get you in. If you're looking to buy land, plots of land somewhere, lots and all that, yeah, we get you there. This, the inner circle that is tier 3, gets you all things. But guess what it saves you? Time. Because the thing is, it offers strong capital appreciation potential, attractive rental yields, and tax efficient for property income, capital gains, residence incentives, and ongoing infrastructure investment. The ongoing means these projects are going on. New projects are coming up, new infrastructures are in place. So depending on where you feel your money is going to make the most sense, that's where you are. All right. And then I'll walk you into a little secret that's happening so far in Dubai. Our new startups are coming up. And guess what? There's a relocation phase that's ongoing. Why? Because now everyone else with an idea to be the next startup, to be the next millionaire, is flying to Dubai, so that they become part of the growing economy, because the infrastructure is already in place and the government has already come up with something. We'll be discussing this, I think, in a later time. It could be maybe a couple of days from now. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking we have a workshop on Wednesday. If we could do a quick Friday workshop, walk you into this whole thing as why this thing is very important, why Blackstone is also being one of the mergers in Dubai, and it's phenomenal. The numbers really make sense for everyone else, and because I was looking at these numbers, I'm like, yeah, this is something that inner circle and most of the people that deal us later need to know about. So your first step from confusion to database confidence, that's the starter kit, right? Before you execute deals, you need to know how to identify them. The starter kit is designed to give you tools, frameworks required to begin analyzing the market properly. So what you get? You get the investment calculator, analyze ready, under construction, distress opportunities, using precise ROI modeling. Instead of asking, does this look like a good deal? You've been asking, what do the numbers actually say? Now, speaking of what numbers actually say, remember what I was talking about, return on investment. You buy crypto, you buy stocks, you buy this, you buy that. How do you measure the return on investment? It's not like a business, right? You must sell in order for you to evaluate the return on investment. So let's say you buy Apple stocks right now. I think they're going for about $278 or something like that. Are you betting against Apple, the business that you don't own, but because you love it and because someone got into the idea that, you know what, when you buy Apple stocks, you're going to make money. Maybe in the next couple of weeks or months from now or years from now. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's going to make you money. But the moment this percentage is rising to a level that you're looking at, you know what? Yeah, these are good profits for me. And you do not sell at that time. And then before you realize, the market takes a shamble. You're losing the profits that you've made. Are we clear? Am I making sense with what I'm saying, right? So it means in order for you to gain the return on investment, you have to sell at a profit compared to how much you put in. So you're selling at a profit, because if you don't sell at a profit, then zero gains. You've not made much money at all. When it comes to properties, there's what we call capital appreciation. Now you buy a property maybe at $500,000, all right, 600 square meter, a 600 square feet property, 1-bedroom apartment, with a bathroom and all, nice view, maybe Park Heights or what, all right, brilliant. Okay, now 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, the market has got where it gets. Your property has appreciated about 47%. Let's say we're just throwing out a number, all right? So 47% from, if you bought it at $500,000 plus under construction, you paid it in installments, you did the down payment, maybe another payments in between, follow through until the property was handed over. 5 years down the road, this is appreciated about 47%. The capital appreciation on your property. So it has increased in value, right? So when you decide to sell that property, guess what happens? You're selling it at a profit based on the appreciation percentage, right? Now, when you do that, what you receive, I want you to understand this. What you receive is what we call return on investment. Because you're not going to be paid $500,000 after 5 years. Maybe by the time it has appreciated for about 950, and that's your takeaway. All right. So you calculate that, and the percentage number that you get is what we call the return on investment. But it happens when you have sold. You can speculate about the number until maybe it makes sense, and you'll be like, you know what? Yeah, this makes sense. I think this is what I'll take away. Maybe 5 years or 10 years down the road. But remember, before you even get there, you've already trained, you've understood, okay, if I get into the market right now, what's my exit strategy? So getting in is the entry strategy. So how do we come around with the entry strategy? How do you get in, right? How do you get in? How do you hold? What's the strategy to holding? And then how do you get out? So the exit strategy is what gets you the return on investment. I hope we're clear about that. So now, where were we? We're talking about the deal finding framework. The thing that we get to show you, not teach you. So there's a difference. There's teaching you, and then there's showing you. Showing you means you get this real time. Teaching you means I could just get here and start telling you this and that, and you see nothing about it. All right. But showing you comes with evidence, comes with numbers that you get to learn the tools that serious investors use to identify potential opportunities across all the real estate markets. It doesn't matter, offshore, onshore, wherever you are. All right. We can get you that deal real time. Because the objective is not to chase every listing, not to chase everything that is on the market. The objective is to develop the ability to find opportunities before you become emotionally attached to them. All right. So I think we did one training. I don't know, for those that missed it, maybe we could try to do a recap at one time. How to find investment properties fast and free, where they don't even have to really pay a cent. And then you have these opportunities ready for you. All right. So there's a practical training for that. Now, this is training. Yeah, it will show you, but at the same time, it will train you to what to do, what not to do, what to use. It's all tools all in one place. Because remember, it gives you, let's say you're looking for distressed deals on the market. There are 25 distress keywords that you can use. All right. Each specific search term designed to help you identify potential distress opportunities across major listing platforms. All right. So this gives you a winning edge. You don't need an agent, property consultant, or what to give you all that, right? But knowing what to do is not the same as doing it. Right? Yeah, because even after this whole thing, you guys will procrastinate, and most other people that will be like, yeah, maybe let me think about it. Maybe this guy has an idea. What? No, I'm not selling you my ideas. Or not. My ideas are paid for, to be honest. So when education, training, and all these other things fail, and you fail to understand the concepts, then this whole thing will not make sense for you. You only feel motivated, but you open up a spreadsheet, you file a property, blah, blah, then you get busy. The CEO has a company to run, the founder has a business to build, the doctor has patients, the lawyer has clients, the pilot has flights, the investor has other assets to manage. And 3 months later, nothing has happened. You're still looking, still researching, still comparing, still waiting for the market, for the perfect opportunity. And then that's where the next stage exists. the inner circle. It gives you everything. All right. So from knowing to executing, it's very important. So you know what you know, you've understood what you have understood, but now, okay, how do I execute everything else that I need? I've already discussed through this, the investment calculator, deal finding framework, trainings, and distress keywords that you get to use. So you go from market confusion to data-backed confidence within a couple of days. So you don't need years, you don't need a whole month for you to get what you need to get to, right? So the deal accelerator now gives you the opportunity to have intensive execution programs that are designed to break even. So between knowledge and action, and that's where you are, because that's the direction that you're going to need. Because the difference between someone who knows how to invest and someone who actually builds a portfolio is execution. So remember, execution is very paramount with all our workshops. We don't just give you information for you to sit around. We just give you this information so that you can act on it, get into the market while it's hot, and then get value out of it, right? That's why this whole thing exists. So live coaching labs, like the workshop that you currently have, and then we usually plan one-on-ones. Now, depending on the timing, some of you may get on them, some of them may not, it doesn't matter. But if you really need a one-on-one coaching lab, then we can get you into one of that. It's weekly deal analysis sessions where real opportunities are examined. You refine your ability to see the difference between good looking property and a good investment, right? So the market heat maps, it allows you or gives you custom data visualization designed to identify high potential corridors and potential undervalued communities. Because the question is not simply where is the property cheap? The better question would be, where is the market moving? And what is the market not yet fully pricing in? I want you to understand. Remember what I told you, our upcoming workshop about Blackstone and then the Founders Initiation program that is already up. This is a big deal for you guys. Negotiation streets, deal reviews, not important, but if you need our help regarding which deal you want to execute, we have a team that will be definitely out there in all these other things for you, so you don't have to just remove the needles. That's all I had to say. So then the people that are only looking at buying one property, listen, I want you to understand this very clearly. When you're getting into the market and you're planning to invest in this, invest in that, you don't buy one thing and you expect it to make you the most money. You don't. You build what we call a fence, around your money towards the investment assets that you have in place, so that you don't hear the cricket noise, right? So you have to have a bigger picture. You're thinking in portfolios, you're thinking about diversification, cash flow, capital growth, long-term wealth, risk management, asset allocation. And you have to understand one thing. Building wealth is not about finding one great deal. It's a complete process. You get with this one deal and then the other things are coming, all right? So it's about building a repeatable system, a system that we already have in place, a system that you guys have already got access to, evaluating, executing multiple good decisions over time. And that's why you stand to stay at the top 1% of everyone else. And this is why these workshops exist, for people like you, people that really understand, like, well, this is where I'm at and this is where I'm heading, right? So the last tier that we're going to discuss a bit, we're coming to a close, but put your questions in the chat. Kim will definitely get to handle that or jump on another call, and then answer this actually after this, and then you're able to get exactly what you need, all the answers that you're looking for. So the highest level of the ecosystem, remember, it's an ecosystem, just like you see a wheel, all right? It's connected by 3 points. So regardless of where you're at, it doesn't matter. So it's a private 12-month mentorship and strategic wealth building partnerships for people who want to build serious portfolios. Remember, I said portfolios, don't just one property. If you're looking to buy just one property, I think the starter kit or the deal accelerator would be a good fit for you. But if you're looking to build a portfolio, not just relying on one property, it's not going to make you money. I guarantee you that. It will not make you money. At least the amount that I'm already thinking in my head. But if you're looking to get pennies on a dollar, brilliant, you go for it. But why is it even worth it? You rather buy stocks or invest in crypto or whatsoever market that's available for you that you feel you make at least a top notch out of it. But for this, no, it will not work. All right. Remember what I say? We're pretty choosy. We don't work with everyone. We know who we want to work with. So it's a very simple process. So what you do, you just click on the link. I think scan a QR code, click on the link. You fill out an application. It's just a couple questions so that we get to know you, get to answer who you are, and see how we can work together. Not basically working together, but this determines whether you're a good fit for us to work or not. All right. So what do you have? You already have the 12 months workshop or trainings that are going. All right. It's good. And then what else? So you're ready to understand, okay, yeah, I'm in here. I've got this. So how does it get me to where I need to get to? Because remember, it's not free. There's no free information out there. The reason why that's far about the cognitive bias and all these other things early on is because of the information overload. You think every information is useful to you, and then you get to realize, okay, you have so many options. Which one are you going to even choose? Which one are you taking? All right. This inner circle gets you out of that fire wheel, and then it gets into something that is very brilliant. So I'll say when you scan the QR code, you'll be able to fill out a little application about potentially working together to structure your wealth through tangible assets and investments, be it a business or buying real estate. But it's very important. You have to be super upfront about a couple of things. It's an application form, all right, non part of the sales process. So I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to build a community. But in the last 5 years, we've worked with new investors growing their wealth to $1 million per year and beyond. We've got a great reputation. And frankly, the reason that we've got that great reputation is really about really choosy about who we work with and whoever we don't. So application doesn't guarantee that you get in. All right. So I want you to answer that real time. We only agree to take on a client if we know we can help. And so what we would love you to do is you go through this process, be as little thoughtful with your answers. So you don't have to take hours on this. It's just a few minutes, and the more honest and real about who you are, that makes us even, it takes the whole process more easier for us. All right. So we're not looking for bad answers. You tell us everything, what's going on in your life, your assets, what have you invested before, what assets are you currently holding, where are you looking at, okay? What have you invested in before, what's worked for you and what failed, as much details as you can so that we can go to feel like, as per your investment plan, to turn into something magic. All right, remember, like I said, we're choosy. So tell us what's great, tell us what's not, tell us what's working, tell us what needs work. The more we get to know you and your investment history and your strength, the more we will be in position to just say, I think we can be helpful here, or get you in or not. All right. So what does that mean? That means you've got to choose. You either choose a few things. There's a done for you deal sourcing that is done for you. You just sit on your back and let every deal comes through. Something that is already ran through the numbers that you don't have to just be like, okay, I'm ready. Let's get this. An elite network, direct access to vetted circle of developers and legal experts, whatever you need. But remember, I think one of the upcoming workshops will be discussing a bit about how do you get your investments. I mean, from IRAs, and these other governments and stuff. It's a system, ironclad system that we have in place that we've used to even work with all girls towards protecting the wealth and stuff. We don't go mention the names in here, I name yourself and stuff, all that. So it's an elite network, just as I've mentioned. So you're anonymous to us, we're anonymous to you. What makes us happy is making sure your money is put in the right position, the right structure. Let's go make you more money. All right. Full execution support, analysis, negotiation, financing strategy, and exit strategy as well. All right. So from executing individual deals to scaling a portfolio, this is what we stand for. Because remember, this is for people who want to build real portfolio, not just buying one property. The inner circle is designed around long-term strategic planning, deal sourcing, network access, and execution support. So that's the transformation journey. Remember, it's a fire wheel. You start somewhere, getting to somewhere, right? You may start with one property, brilliant. You may start with one business, that's okay, all right? But you don't have to stay there. So you get what I mean, right? So you may be thinking, I don't need this, I'm good. Neither do we, because this isn't about watching this, watching that, or you may be thinking, I already know it. It's brilliant that you already have the knowledge, but the question is, do you have a repeatable system for finding, analyzing, and executing deals? And you might be thinking, just ask the guy next door. It's also good, you can, but the guy next door is usually paid while the transaction happens. You're the person who lives with the investment after the transaction happens. That does not make every person bad. It means your interests are not automatically identical, right? So I know you might as well be thinking, I really don't have time for these workshops and stuff. Brilliant. That's exactly why the system matters. All right. The people in this elite community, this community over in this inner circle are very busy. They have companies to run, patients to treat, plans to serve, aircraft to fly, businesses to build. So you don't need more information. You need a better process for filtering information. And I know you may be thinking, I can figure this out myself. Of course you can. The question is, how much will it cost you to figure it out through mistakes? Because there are two ways to learn. You can pay for knowledge or you can pay for mistakes. Which one gives you the highest return on investment? All right. And usually, just so you should know, mistakes are more expensive. Much more expensive. So let's talk about the risk here. All right. This is where conversation becomes a bit a real thing. All right. There's no risk-free investment. Not in real estate, not in stocks, not in crypto, not in gold, not in business, not even cash. People like to pretend they're not gambling, like I started earlier to do. They call it investing. But if you're risking something, you're making a bet. You're trading something you have now for the possibility of something you want later. You trade money for potential returns, right? You trade time for potential freedom. You trade certainty for potential growth. And if you're going to take a risk, like most of you have done, sometimes you should at least understand the risk that you're taking. Because the bigger the danger is not taking the risk. The biggest danger so far is taking unexamined risk. You're not paying for free. So the question is not, can I avoid all risk? You can't. The question is, can I understand the risk before I take it? That's where we come in. That's why these workshops or this elite group exists, right? The entire philosophy behind the system, understanding the risk before you take it. And here's why you do not need everybody. Like I say, we're pretty choosy. We very, very choosy on who we want to work with, who we don't want to work with, right? So everyone else is not in this room. Not everybody is in this room. They don't have access because of the criteria that we follow, okay? A person looking for guaranteed returns is looking for something that doesn't exist. A person looking for someone to make every decision for them is not someone we're looking for, right? A person who wants to be pressured into buying an asset is not looking for decision-making framework. And that this is for people who understand, like all of you that are in here, you understand one thing. If you want something in this life, you have to go and build it. But you also have to be intelligent about the people you build it with. The best people you want to be around with standards, right? A players want to be around A players. I want you to agree with me on this, right? We don't have B players here. We don't have C players. We have A players only. And that means you're a baller. And that means you understand what money means to you and how to make informed decisions towards whatever it is that is going to do for the next thing, right? So people who take their capital seriously want to be around people who take their capital seriously. And we do take your capital seriously. We don't manage it, we allocate it to industries that are really going to get you where you need to get to. And the only people attracted to a room without standards are usually the ones who cannot meet them. Everyone else here understands when we tell you that we push front and center, we value standards, every one of them. All right. So if you're looking to buy this property because I said so, this is not probably for you. If you want, tell me there's no risk. This is definitely not for you. But if you want to learn how to think more clearly, analyze opportunities more intelligently, understand the numbers, identify potential opportunities, reduce avoidable mistakes, and make your own investment decisions from a position of greater clarity, then that's exactly why this whole system was built. So, like I said, scan a QR code. I know a few questions that have come into the chat. You ready, Anneli? When you're starter kit member, brilliant. Yeah, you can upgrade as well, but depending on the period that you're in, upgrading doesn't mean we get you out of the faster you got in. Now you still get to be part of all this. You share everything that you missed or you might need for the next phase and all that. So no guessworks, no nothing. You just have data, information, and clarity over the thing that you need to get to. All right. You can continue doing what most people do. Find a property as someone else what they think, look at brochures, listen to predictions, hope the market moves in their favor, and call that investing. Or you can build a process, develop a process, a system, a framework that's already in place, that you're already part of, right? A way to look at the market that doesn't depend entirely on hype, intuition, or somebody else's sales pitch. You move from confused to informed, informed to executing, and executing to scaling wealth. Remember, building portfolios, that's all in a game that we are up to here. And towards this is transformation that we offer. And the process begins with just where you started. You get the tools, you get this, you get that, you get all the deal finding frameworks, you get everything else that you need. You start learning how to analyze opportunities instead of simply reacting to them. All right. You start executing live deal analysis, market heat maps, negotiation frameworks, and all that, personalized deal reviews and stuff, and accountability. Because if you're building something larger, that's where the inner circle comes in. Market mastery, deal acquisition, wealth generation. So the question for me is, and it's a very brilliant question, by the way. So if you're thinking, are you chasing the money? That's the question. Or are you choosing the squad? We are the squad. So every one of you here is part of the squad. Everyone else who's chasing money and get access to this. Because this is bananas, like the kind of information, criteria, the deal acquisition is all stuff. Everything else that's happening in here is bananas, honestly. You don't get it for cheap, but it's also worthwhile. It's the value that we decide to offer. So, like I say, everyone takes a risk. They just decide to call it up with some funny name: stocks, crypto, gold, real estate, business, career, and all that. But if you are risking something, remember what I say, you're gambling. And if you're gambling, you better understand the game. Okay? You better understand the odds. You better understand the downside. So while this is worthy being part of, There's an email right there. There's a QR code that you can scan. Remember what I say? Be pretty choosy. While you fill in the application, try to be as more authentic as possible. Take a bit of time. Don't need hype answers. Just think before you answer so that we can determine whether we can work with you or not. All right. So we've got it all. I know questions are in the chat, so it's okay. You can send the questions your way. And yeah, we can see how we can move forward. Remember, the goal is to become the kind of person who can identify, analyze, and execute good opportunities repeatedly, not just one. One could be a winner. So I'll leave the second isn't. All right. But if you're able to understand everything, analyze, execute repeatedly, then you're definitely having winners throughout. So what's the take home for you guys? This is referral based community only. And our next open slots are going to be in August, starting from 14th, 2026. And we'll see. And we're only looking at 5 new people to join in. No more than that. 5 people, that's enough for us. And then our next intake will be in December. So if you know someone out there who needs to be part of this, yeah, you can shoot them a message. Remember, your wealth will not be determined by the number of properties you look at. It will be determined by the quality of the decisions you make. So I think that's it for me now. I really have to jump into the next workshop, but maybe I'll schedule it for later. Yeah, questions are in the chat. Brilliant. And I think regarding the questions, I'm thinking of something better anyway. I don't know. If we could just do one-on-ones, be able to ask most of these questions individually. So the timing is very important. You just shoot us. I think Kim should be able to send a link in the chat. Whoever's available to jump on a one-on-one call. It will not really be on me on the side. It will be one of my teams that will be able to take care of answer the questions that you need. Whenever I'm available, yeah, I'll definitely also be able to jump on the calls with you. And then let's try to help you. Let's try to guide you. Let's try to make this as more transformative as possible for yourself. We're building generational wealth. We're not just building wealth for the sake. Okay? You're doing this for your family. You're doing this for your loved ones. You're doing this for your kids. You're doing this for yourself. So it should matter to you. Without further ado, I think, yeah, we're done. Kim,